Hello and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and we're here today with another Free Pattern Friday. Yay, it's Free Pattern Friday. I love Free Pattern Fridays. I sit there and I play around and I want to give you guys fun, fast little designs to work with. And today we're going to show you how to do 4 at a time flying geese. Now, so this is going to be, these geese are going to be around the outside of this block. But so I can't lay it out for you. But this one's called 4 Patch Flying Geese, right? Because we got a lovely little, cute little scrappy 4 patch in the middle, and then a flying goose to bring it unity within the block. Now, but of course we have a shout out. Of course, we always have to do the shout out first, right? Now, Katy from Greenland Quilters has been giving me quite a few shout outs, and she's having such a good time over on her channel. You guys have got to go check her out. So her YouTube link is going to be in the show notes below, as well as our Zoom sew date for the next month all the way to December, once my husband and I decide to sit down and lay it all out. And you're also going to have the Facebook group. Now, those Zoom sew dates are once a month. They're usually the first Saturday of the month, and they're lots of fun to come and join. Now, you don't have to come for the whole day. You can pop in and out or whatever, you know, as you can, because I know life is busy. But if you need somebody to come sew with or come knit or crochet with, we're welcoming those other crafts as well. Now, in the Facebook group, we're sharing pictures and we're, you know, inspiring others, and we're doing fabric swaps, and we're asking questions, and we're, you know, does anybody have this fabric? We're doing all of those kinds of things, but we're also making use of a virtual sewing room. And that virtual sewing room, you never know who you're going to meet, but it's always a lot of fun. And lastly, please share, like, and subscribe. If you like what's on these videos of mine, please help us with our analytics and comment, even if it's just a little heart or a thumbs up or something. That would really help us out. So come on in, let's get to this Free Pattern Friday. Okay, we're at the sewing machine. Now, this is where we're laying out our 4 patches, and the flying geese are going to be here. But I have scraps that are big enough to make that 4 at a time flying geese unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put them down. Now, all of the cutting instructions are in the show notes, right? But normally I don't have 5 1/4 inch scraps, right? So, I mean, this is not my preferred method. So I'm just going to line these up, line them up best I can. Now, there's a center line. I don't know if you can see the center line. I'm going to sew on the outside lines. The center line was there, and you can put, you know, a pin in just to hold it in place, kind of thing, you know, so until you get there. Okay, so now we're just gonna, and we're gonna sew on the inside the line, inside that line, but right up against it. There we go. And now, because we're only doing one, I mean, we're just going to flip it around and sew again on the inside of that outer line. I oil this machine and it still sounds rough. I should take it to the spa and pull out the other machine, the sewing machine I've got down here, before I do more damage to it or something silly like this. Okay, so now I've got that. So I'm going to take my scissor and I'm going to cut right up the middle of this on that line. I know, you guys are like, oh dear. I know. Now, it's going to look really weird, and you're going to go, that ain't going to make anything. So you're going to push these back. You're just going to push the white back. So you end up with kind of a cat face or a heart shape, or, you know, whatever that shape reminds you of. Now, you're going to put another heart down, just like so. And we're going to sew just on inside of that line. I always find this one very weird. So I find this easier when I draw all my lines on my wing. This is the goose, this is the wing. So I just find it easier, that's all. So I'm okay at doing a quarter or like a seam right down the middle of a 2.5 inch piece. However, this is a little different, so I'm drawing lines because I don't do this often enough, I guess, because like I said, my scraps aren't big enough, so why would I do it? Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, so all of the 4 at a time, the sewing parts are now done. And now we come to the trimming. And what we're going to do now is we're going to clip up this line, the center line, on both of the pieces. And you would be taking this to your ironing board and giving it a good press and all this, right? Now, oops, there we go. So here is our flying goose. Now, I'm going to make sure that these measure 4.5 by 2.5, and I'm going to trim them all the same, because in order for my 8.5-inch block that we're going to make, I'm going to need these trimmed, and I'm going to need them trimmed correctly, right? So we're going to cut at this moment, and I'll be back with 4 trimmed geese. Okay, now that I've trimmed the flying geese units, 4.5 to 2.5 by 2.5, you can see this is like it's like an amended or a variation of an economy block. But what we're going to do first now before we assemble the block is get that 4 patch together. And that 4 patch together, this comes out of 2.5-inch 2.5-inch squares. Yeah, I'm not, I find this method, my accuracy for flying geese is not as good as taking a 2.5-inch by 4.5-inch and then putting on 2, doing a flip and stitch. I find my flip and stitch ones are just right on the money, where this is not so much. I do have a little bit of shy seams here, and it's probably, it could have been anything, right? It could be the way I sewed it, it could be my 1/4-inch foot's getting loose again, it could be any number of things. So let's get this all back together, and then you can see how it all comes together. And I swirl my seam, so I just pull this apart at the back, and I ended up with a bunch of fun scraps from a dear friend. So I'm using them up, and I hope she sees them in here. So there's just our little posy going on. So now we're just going to web this together. And like I say, it's just a very quick little 8.5-inch block. So there. The 8.5 is a nice size to work with too. It's easy to trim up. It's not too big. The mouth on an 8.5 is pretty good actually. 8.5-inch block is nice. There we go. There. Well, that wasn't hard. We're almost done now. We just have to web it together some more. Okay, the next part here is the other outside corner. There. This comes together pretty quick. And it looks best scrappy. This is a nice one if you're looking to use a bunch of scraps up and you're not sure which direction to go. This would make a good scrappy quilt. I am also in my scrap bags that I bought from the quilt basket. I had a lot of plain white that is just looking great on these blocks. you know. Okay, this goes out, this goes out, this goes in, because there we go, and that goes in, right in. There we go, just like that. Okay. Now, if you're going to do these on bulk, right? I mean, you would do all of one thing. Like you'd either do pull out all your 4 patches, or make all your, you know, because you probably got a bunch of 4 patches kicking around your room. If you're, you know, if day happens where you don't know what to do, you just, okay, I'll sit and make 4 patches because they're easy and I've got all this stuff. Well, there you go. You know, you're halfway to the races. I've got a bunch of 4 patches that I'm contemplating working with here. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make them into just a quilt, or whether I'm going to do something like that with them. And just to dress them up a bit, you know. Do something a little different. And I clip this so I can see, and I really get to in there to nest my seams good. Here. Yeah, that just... Okay. Now. Okay, so here we are. Well, I'm just going to, I think I'm going to press these, the last ones out from the center, because I am getting a little resistance here where I pressed in. So I think I'm going to put the rest of this out and give it a good press. Okay, so now we're at, we got good points on our 4 patch, right, by nesting. So we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, this is our cute little 8.5 inch unfinished quilt block. This is 4 patch Flying Geese, and it just comes together really quite quickly. It's like I say, you can do the 4 at a time method if you want. There's also a 2 at a time method, and there's the, you know, doing them 1 at a time and get a real scrappy looking block going. I loved how these all came together. It's kind of like a cheater's economy block with a 4 patch in the middle, but it's kind of cute, and it's great for scraps. You can make this up as scrappy as you want. You can put scrappy low volumes in the corners. It would work. It works with all sorts of things. So I hope you enjoy this little scrap buster. I hope you have an absolutely fabulous week ahead. And until we meet again, you stay well, okay, and take care. All right, bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for watching our videos and being part of our Facebook group and coming to our Zoom meetings. It's been so much fun on this little adventure that we've been on YouTube. I just want to we are doing Zoom sew dates still coming up and those dates are going to be listed in the show notes of this video for the next year. We're making that commitment to you, and we're having a lot of fun with those Zoom sew dates. So please, you know, feel free to come in. Even if you're not a quilter and you just want to come and do some crocheting or knitting or whatever, yeah, come on down. We're good. The other thing is I still am doing speaking engagements for the quilt gals, just to help them out to get back on their feet. I am doing only Zoom meetings, and I have a PowerPoint presentation that talks about all the free patterns that we have put out and will be putting out to the world. So they're more than welcome to take any of my patterns and use them for their charity quilts, right? So that's kind of important that they know that we're there. So if you are part of a guild, let your programs person know that we're speaking for free over Zoom only. We're not doing any traveling or anything like that. The other thing that I want to let you know is that we do in our Facebook group, everybody's sharing pictures and having fun and asking questions, and it's a hoot. And we do still have the room feature in Facebook that we can go sew within. My admin person, Kathy, was able to set that up. It's no longer called Brenda's room, it's called Kathy's room, but we got a room. we do have a room working, so we're all happy with that. So if you get the opportunity to come join us on Facebook, that's great. We'd love to have you. So until we meet again, I hope you have you and your family have an absolutely amazing weeks ahead. Okay, you take care. All right, bye.